Hey, welcome to Board with Life News for June 4th. Today we're going to talk about expansions for Smash Up and Machi Koro. We're also going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons Dice Masters, as well as the Kickstarter for God's Gambit. Let's get right to it. Hey, I'm Chris, and welcome to Board with Life News. Some Board with Life news. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and I'll mention it again. I'm going to keep doing it until Gen Con, because we really want to meet you, and we really want you to come to our cool events, because they're cool, and that's the coolest thing. We have 3 different Gen Con official events that are going to be going on Board with Life related. First, Board with Life Season 1 is part of the Gen Con Film Festival competition. So that's going to be screening Saturday at 5, and it's free. And so you should definitely come to that. We're going to be showing excerpts from Season 1 and stuff like that. So that should be a lot of fun, and maybe bring somebody who hasn't seen the show yet, and that'll be fun. It's fun. We're fun. Second is there's going to be a Board with Life Season 2 preview. And this is, we're going to have sneak peeks, and we have some surprises in order for what's going on with Season 2. That's going to be Friday at 6 p.m., and that's also free. So yeah, come meet us. That's going to be probably the easiest place to kind of get us all in one place, and it's going to be pretty laid back and awesome. Not only fun, but awesome. And third, we made a horror short film, sort of. It's called The Cyclist, and it has zombies in it, so therefore it's horror, but it's kind of a tragedy, but whatever. It's nothing like Board with Life or anything that you've seen us do, and that is actually playing as well in the film festival as part of the horror short film block, and that's Saturday at 11 p.m. And that's also free. We're actually going to be showing a trailer for that this coming Thursday. We're going to put one on the site, so check that out if you're interested in that. All right, moving on to board game news. AEG announced that they're going to have another expansion for Smash Up, and this one's going to be Smash Up Monsters Smash. It's going to include factions for vampires, mad scientists, werewolves, and, of course, giant ants. For those of you that don't know, Smash Up is a card game where you can take 2 separate factions and shuffle your deck together, and then you get to use those 2 factions to hopefully defeat your opponents. Initially, it was kind of like, you know, pirates and zombies and dinosaurs, and since they've kept adding more and more on, so now you can have, you know, werewolf pirates or giant ants and robots and whatever. So that's fun. I have a soft spot for classic movie monsters. That's one of my big passions, so this one's pretty exciting. On to Machi Koro news. Machi Koro is, I think, just about to come out, like in the very near future in the States. It's a dice rolling game from Japan that is quite a bit of fun, and we've gotten a chance to play it. Well, their first American expansion to come out is going to be called Machi Koro Harbor Expansion. It's going to include 10 new establishments, 1 new starting establishment, and 2 new landmarks. In Machi Koro, you lay out a bunch of different cards, and like Dominion, you have the choice to purchase cards from the center of the table. So this is going to add a lot of new cards that you can exchange for the cards in the center of the table to purchase. Again, much like Dominion. Also, there's been the announcement for a new expansion coming out in Japan right about now. And we are also going to be getting that in the States in the relatively near future. So lots of Machi Koro happening, and that's good because it's a good game, and it's a good kind of introductory game. All right, it seems like not a week goes by that WizKids doesn't give us some new Dice Masters news, because that game exploded in a huge way. And this week they announced that they are going to be adding another property to it, and it's going to be Dungeons & Dragons Dice Masters. This will now be the 4th that they've announced, where they had Marvel, and they've announced DC and Yu-Gi-Oh! And so now the Dungeons & Dragons will be the 4th kind of theming of the same sort of core mechanics. It's going to be set in the Forgotten Realms universe, of course, because it's Dungeons & Dragons, and that's the most popular universe. And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Set said that you're going to be able to combine all the sets, so I imagine that that's also going to be true for Dungeons & Dragons, which means you are going to be able to have Marvel characters fighting along Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters fighting alongside, you know, Dungeons & Dragons characters with DC characters, so that's pretty interesting. It's yet to be seen what the kind of like shelf life of this game is going to be, if this is all kind of a flash in the pan, but right now it's kind of the hottest thing and has been for quite a while, so more Dice Masters. All right, and now there's a little special segment we're going to have that we're going to call Abroad with Life, because Donald and Nikki recently went to Europe, and so we filmed, we're going to have a little bit of a satellite transfer and get some news over what it's like to be gaming in Europe. So, Donald, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry for the awkward pause, satellite delay. You know how it is. Chris, I'm here in the United Kingdom, where I'm speaking with its inhabitants about their gaming habits and rituals. I have one of these inhabitants with me today. His name is Puwal Dion. Puwal, what sort of games and rituals do you enjoy in this land?
Tea and Settlers of Catan is a game, and Power Grid. That was Citadels.
You heard it here first, folks. They like Settlers of Catan in the United Kingdom. Back to you, Chris. Chris? Satellite delay.
Okay, No, I'm just gonna do the Kickstarter news. I'm just gonna do the Kickstarter news now, okay? All right, goodbye. All right, so Kickstarter this week is for God's Gambit. God's Gambit is a card game designed by Seiji Kanai, the designer of Love Letter, the wildly popular Love Letter. It's a hand management card game, much like his other games, that consists of 100 cards. One of the things I'm excited about this, that they're actually kickstarting it instead of doing the American publishing of it, is that I haven't been a huge fan of the AEG's artwork that they keep putting on all of Seiji Kanai's games instead of using the original artwork that I really like. So this, you get the original beautiful kind of anime inspired artwork. And you can pick it up for $40 on Kickstarter right now, which seems kind of expensive for a game that only consists of 100 cards. So I guess that's the bummer part of kickstarting it. So, you know, whatever, $40. We're gamers. It's all just burn all our money anyway. All right, moving on. In some sort of tangentially related Board with Life news, Ash, who plays Michelle on our show, is going to be playing a bee on Adventure Time, and that episode is premiering tomorrow night. So definitely go check that out, because we're big fans of her, and we're very proud of her, and we're all very jealous of her that she gets to be on Adventure Time, because we all love that show. And she makes a bee well. She bees well. That was so dumb. So make sure you subscribe and like us. We're on Facebook and Twitter and all that jazz. We want to hear from you on Twitter. We want to hear from you in the comments, all that kind of stuff. We want your questions. We want all of you. If you could just move into my spare bedroom, I'd be unhappy with that, because I bet you're not. I don't want you to move into my spare bedroom. This week's question comes from @DPJ Columbus via Twitter, and he asks, how often can you play a great board game without getting sick of it? There's a very few number of board games that I like enough that I think the answer is going to be for the rest of my life. Dominion's one of those. I've played probably, if you include digitally, because I play online pretty often, I've probably played 1,000 hands of Dominion. And while that's no longer the game that I immediately go to when somebody comes over and says, pick a game, what should we play? If anybody says, hey, do you want to play Dominion? I absolutely always want to play Dominion. So definitely that one. Castles of Burgundy is a game that I have to like keep myself from playing, because I'd never play new board games and I wouldn't try different board games because I love that game so much. So I definitely think that is a game that's up there. I know Cosmic Encounter's that way for a whole lot of people. It's been around for almost probably like 40 years now, I guess. And that's still absolutely a classic, and it still feels modern and great. So most board games I kind of tire of after about a year or two, and I've played them, whatever. I should play board games more. There's like the 100 Project or whatever, where you don't buy a new board game until you've played one 100 times, each one 100 times, which it seems really cool. I don't think I could do that, both being in board game media. I have to play too many board games to stay current, and there aren't a lot of board games that I think I could play 100 times. Usually about 20 times is my max before I'm kind of tired of them and done with them. But there's certainly a few that are absolutely great and that I will love forever. All right, that's the news for this week. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, because we'll be releasing that trailer and you can see a totally different side of us, and that will be fun. All right, thanks for tuning in. Bye.